This is my show, Love from London's Life Coach, coming to you directly from London. This podcast comes with a warning, as it is unapologetically controversial. This show hopes to break the silence with the purpose of awareness and discrimination of cultural restraints across the world. Enjoy. Hi guys, so it's Nina, London's life coach, and today I've got with me a friend that I met on Clubhouse, one of my first friends actually, and I love him dearly. His name's David, and he has a company called Nourish Me, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. I'm in London, and David, whereabouts are you in the world? Do you want to just let us know?
I'm actually in Solana Beach, California, right outside San Diego.
Sounds like an amazing place to be. So we were discussing the weather earlier, as you do, just comparing, but actually for once in London we have sunshine, which is a rarity, but we enjoy it whilst we've got it. For those of you who've not seen my podcast before, I do like to speak about things that are not normally spoken about. So David and I will go with the flow and see where things take us. But I've got a few questions for David. I know quite a bit about you already because, as I said, we've spent a lot of time on Clubhouse together. But for those of you who don't know who you are, what brought your journey to where you are today, David?
Well, coming from Morocco, being an immigrant, and my journey. Oh, by the way, let me start out saying thank you for having me on your podcast, Nina. I appreciate it, and you're a gem. I heard your story, and my heart was touched, and I love to help other people in any way I can. So getting your message being shared with the world is something that I'm trying to help, and I love being able to serve others, and that's kind of the secret of living, as Tony and a lot of other people say, is giving. So we're blessed with good fortune and our health to be able to help other people and inspire other people to do great things. And I think leaving a legacy behind is what we have for our family and our children, and I think you're doing a great job in what you're doing, and it's an honor to be on your podcast and share London's life coach secrets and your story and other people's stories that will inspire other people and make an impact in our world. So thank you for having me. So my journey is interesting. Being born in Morocco, Casablanca, and coming to Canada and the U.S. at the age of 7, I had to endure, an abusive father who never said he loved me, but just gave my mother and 3 sisters a beating every day until the police took him away at the age of 10 years old. He finally left us, and we were able to move on. And so I had to hustle as a young kid. And then I kind of manifested a lot of good fortune over the years in different companies. And at a very young age, I was very successful, and my only passion was cars, fast cars. And unfortunately, I had a terrible accident that at the age of 23, I was about to turn 24, and a young lady didn't survive. And I ended up a year in jail and 5 years community service. And I decided while I was in jail, instead of trying to take my life because I was the guilty guy and I felt horrible, that I would not do that to my 3 older sisters and my mom and make them suffer. So I decided to honor my family and her family and honor Michelle, who's no longer with us. And, right before the accident, she said she wanted to be a doctor and save lives. So I took her last words, and I'm doing what she would want to have done, being a doctor. So I'm here to help people radically reduce their inflammation and give them their lives back. And I think that's the key. So I'm on a mission to touch 1 billion lives. My definition of a billionaire is not how much money you have in the bank, it's how many lives you can impact. So that's kind of my journey. My story is that I've had many ups and downs, and at the end of the day, I've got my health, I've got my well-being to be able to do great things for other people. So I've done a lot of humanitarian work all around the world, and I continue to do this work when I'm called upon to act. I like to jump into action and help others. And right now, I have a huge mission, And I've got a great team that I met on Clubhouse, people like you and Tony and Jason and Anna and so many beautiful people that have joined the team to help us spread this, the word of how we can help people, you know, with an inflamed gut that has an inflamed mind, brain. Once you have an inflamed gut, a brain, you have an inflamed body. And with inflammation, you have crazy things. You do crazy things. Like my father was inflamed. He drank too much, he smoked, and he would do things that were not in the norm, in the best interest of the family unit. He didn't honor his wife and children. He didn't honor himself. So we got to talk about honoring our body. And, you know, because if you have an inflamed body, you have an inflamed family, inflamed society, community. And that's why people do crazy things. So my job as the leader of Nourishment is to nourish you and everybody else who's listening with this. God's given us the ability to take turmeric extract, curcumin, make it water soluble at a nano-sized level and put it into the bloodstream. It goes in fast, effectively, safely, and it helps relieve inflammation, which helps relieve the pain. It doesn't matter where the pain's at, in your joints, in your brain, in your gut. That's what we do, and we do it quickly. And the reviews on our website speak for themselves. So I highly recommend, if people want to learn more about the product, just to go to nurish.me, nurish.me. So that's kind of the mission and the journey I'm on. And I'm here to talk wherever you want to go, because I want your audience to know what it is, how I transformed my life 7 years ago by honoring my body.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm just going back to your product, actually. As you know, one of my children has Crohn's disease, which is more and more a common disease, whereas we didn't really hear about it before. A lot of that, I think, because life's changed, stress has changed, and food and lifestyle has just changed for different people. I understand the disease quite well because my daughter has done biomedical science and now she's a dentist, but she understands a lot of the cellular side of it and how it takes something to trigger that genetic within us. Now, the medication that my son's on, and a lot of people out there, it maintains the disease. It doesn't cure the disease. How do you feel about that? You know, why do you think that is the case? Why is it not curable? As they say, it's not curable. It's only something we can maintain to enable you to live a better life, even though the lifestyle isn't really the quality it should be, but it's maintained, never cured.
There's a top naturopath in New York City. She resells our product. For 28 years, she was suffering of Crohn's disease. She has a center it's one of the largest centers in New York City. And this woman, when I approached her, she's from India, by the way, and she had been taking turmeric her whole life. When I approached her 2 years ago, I actually met her through Deepak Chopra. But we were able to help her in about 30 days. And she is one of the strongest believer in the product. We're doing a whole public relations with her team, and in the coming months, we're preparing a launch. But we have helped hundreds of people with Crohn's disease and also every type of IBS. So for digestion, you know, everybody, it's clinically proven curcumin, turmeric extract, and aloe vera helps fight the inflammation from a lot of these digestive tract issues. Yeah. We don't cure anything. We're a dietary supplement. So what we do is we help suppress the symptoms. You know, so I think what happened is 4.5 years ago, I started the company, and you know, our anniversary was last month, 4 years, but 6 months prior to that, I was in a car accident and I took the product and I had a bad back. And after 5 epidurals, I was on opioids for a couple of weeks. I spent 3 days on a morphine drip. They wanted to fuse my spine. The top surgeons, I had 3 opinions. And I ended up taking 10 drops of this and all my pain went away, which traditional medicine couldn't handle. So I ended up about a month later going to a bat mitzvah in Montreal, and my cousin's daughter has Crohn's disease. She was 12 years old. She had been bedridden since she was 9. For 3 years, she never left, because she'd go from the bed to the bathroom all day long. and she was in excruciating pain, the young girl. So I said, listen, I just tried this. Tell me if this works for you. In 24 hours, she was out of bed. That Sunday, she went to her best friend's bat mitzvah and she went back to school, and she hasn't missed a day of school since then. That's over 4 years ago. So that's the first experience I had with Crohn's disease, because on my mother's side of the family, they all generations of Crohn's disease. And her aunt, who was constipated for 20 years, she'd go to the bathroom, one bowel movement a week. Last summer, she was at the beach house. She took the product, and in 3 to 5 days, she's regular now. She can't live without it. So just try it. We tell people, try it for 90 days. You have a shipment coming to you. You'll be able to follow up. By the time the podcast is done, we should have a follow-up segment and see how your son is doing.
Most definitely, yeah.
But we've had, with IBS and Crohn's, we've had almost 100% success rate. So, but you have to stop all supplements and you have to stop all medications. A lot of the medications, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of the drugs that are produced by these big pharmaceutical companies, you only have to show a 30%. In order for any drug, like the best drugs on the market, you only have to show 30% of the clinical trials to perform. So 70% of the people don't respond to the drugs, but yet it's a blockbuster drug at 30%. Like if you have Alzheimer's dementia, none of the drugs work. All they do is extend the life maybe 6 months to 12 months. None of them work. There's 5 drugs on the market. So it's the same thing with just about everything, including statins, heart disease. There's a great book that Ben Greenfield just put out, an author with Hussey. It was amazing. A great 3-part. If you go to bengreenfieldfitness.com, you'll hear my podcast from April 10th, but also a new podcast that just came out on Saturday. Blew me away how statins don't work. We've had people with high blood pressure and diabetes take the product. So for inflammation and pain relief, I think we have a solution that should work for most people out there if you give it 90 to 120 days. And we have a subscribe and save. You could subscribe for 90 days. If it doesn't work, we give you a full refund after 90 days. So just try it. Most people get pain relief within a few days or weeks, but it works very, very well. And I would love your audience to just try. We ship to the UK. The UK is our 3rd largest country. We ship to over 55 countries. Australia is a big country for us, US, Canada, and we also ship to the Middle East, all over. So it's exciting to be able to heal so many people with a very simple, Ayurveda, and there's vitamin B12, D3, and a little bit of iodine for women's thyroid. So there's a pharmacist in the UK that helped me do the due diligence on this. She's on our website. Her name is Pamela Goyal. So before I started the company with my 2 partners, we had to do a lot of due diligence, make sure that this thing really worked. And she was on Synthroid for, 15, 20 years. She's a bodybuilder. And she got off of Synthroid in 2 weeks. And she can't live without this, because all of her, women's health issues have been regulated, including people with endometriosis, polycystic disease, all sorts of ulcers, or all sorts of different cysts. It really helps. Even plantar fasciitis, we've seen people respond. So anything related to inflammation, which is over 90% of chronic diseases or inflammatory response, we can help people. And especially like with concussions, headaches, and things like that. So if you're in pain and inflamed, give us a try, and you have nothing to lose at all. Definitely. Everything to gain, nothing to lose. And there are no allergens in here. If you're allergic to turmeric, don't take it. That's the only thing I can say, because curcumin comes from the turmeric root. It's the bioactive ingredient. And I think you probably know that turmeric is a fat-soluble molecule, and it's very hard for the body to absorb it. So a lot of our companies that sell turmeric or curcumin, they put pepperine in it, or they tell you to take it with milk. With ours, we're the only one in the world that's water soluble. So you don't have to put pepperine, you don't have to take it with milk. You can put it in almond milk or coconut milk, but no dairy, no gluten for 5 days. Get off all your stuff, and you can just put it in water on an empty stomach take it 3-4 times a day and you'll be fine. I think that's the key.
Why do you say to people not to be on to give up dairy and wheat?
Well, there's the way when you take this product, you could put it under your tongue sublingually, or you could put it in water. We recommend you put it in a glass of water, and I'll get a glass of water here in a few minutes, and I'll do a quick little demonstration for you. The issue with gluten is the wheat. It does something to the small intestine, and it lines the gut. And a lot of the wheat and the gluten that we have, especially in the U.S., is filled with preservatives, and there's a lot of toxins, a lot of glyphosate. Like 90% of the bread that people eat in the US, over 90% of the bread and over 90% of dietary supplements have glyphosate in it. So you're taking like a vitamin or a mineral and you think it's healthy, but it's full of toxins, including the bread. Yeah. So if you can't find the COA, if you go to our website at nurish.me, if you look over here at the very bottom of every one of our products, there's a link. It says certificate of analysis. You click that link, and here you could see everything we test for: purity, potency, heavy metal analysis. And look at this, microbiology. And then we have a whole section on pesticides. And this is something that you won't find on the multi-billion-dollar companies and just about every pharmaceutical company. You will not find this on their website. And I've asked the top 3 companies that sells vitamins to send me their you see how we test for glyphosate? So we test for hundreds, and then we also send the product to another company called Informed Choice for Sports. If you click the link at the bottom of every one of our pages, you'll see our products are all certified by not 1, not 2, but 5 third parties. We use dynamic light scattering, HPLC, NMR, mass spec. We use every type of method to make sure all of our products are certified for Informed Choice for Sports. And basically this governing body here, they are the de facto and the gold standard for Olympians, the NFL, NBA, and all major sports teams. So we test for every banned substance. So not only do we check for the cleanliness and the safety, we want to make sure whatever we give you is safe for you to ingest and you're not going to get hurt. So a lot of people are taking dietary supplements like ascorbic acid, vitamin C that are synthetic. And a lot of those are actually toxic for you. A lot of people don't know. So it's my job on this podcast to have all of these dietary supplement companies follow our lead so they can show the transparency that's required by the general public to make sure that they have a safe product. And I want everybody to match us. And so here's a challenge I put to the top 10 nutraceutical companies and the top 10 vitamin companies. Listen to this podcast and follow Nourishment. Follow our lead. We are trendsetters. We are doing something that's never been done before. Most people think nutraceuticals and dietary supplements, like I thought. I never took a dietary supplement until 4.5 years ago. I didn't believe in any of them. I thought they were all snake oil salesmen. I thought that, I can get my nutrition through good food, and I didn't need supplementation. And then when I got hurt, it didn't matter what I ate. I realized that I needed a little extra push to stop the inflammation. And, I always tell people, I don't want to sell you anything. I want to sell you on you. So if you eat clean, you exercise, you don't smoke, you don't drink alcohol, or you minimize all that, you don't need me. You don't need Nourishment. You don't need anything. You just need yourself. Just go eat the spinach, get turmeric. But if you need it as an insurance policy, if you can't get the aloe vera, the turmeric, or the curcumin, because it's a little hard to extract, like 12 of our drops is equal to like a whole box of turmeric tablets. So you'd have to have like 60, 90 tablets, depending on the milligrams, to get what we give you in a daily serving. 15 milligrams of our stuff is equal to anywhere from 500 to 5,000 milligrams of turmeric or curcumin extract. So we're able to give it to you in a very easy form factor. It's easy to drink. It tastes great. It has almost no flavor, a little bit of vanilla. and you're able to really feel the difference. You could see your skin, you could feel your health. It's also a fat metabolizer. There's so many benefits of turmeric. There's over 17,000 peer-reviewed papers on PubMed. So if you really want to know all the benefits, it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's antimicrobial, it's antioxidant, it's anti-tumor, it's anti-cancer, it's anti-inflammatory. So we focus on inflammation, and all the other symptoms, they kind of heal themselves as you decide, what's the right amount for you based on your body chemistry and your diet. So gluten is tough for the molecules to absorb. It interferes with your intestinal, the villi and the microvilli, where it goes into your bloodstream. So that's how all nutrients, either in your mouth sublingually, which is the best. That's why, and by the way, I just learned this from somebody a couple of weeks ago, that if you chew your food, all the nutrients get released sublingually in your mouth, which is pretty cool. I always thought it was in your stomach, but it's not in the stomach. It's right where the blood, it's in your small intestine, so the stomach basically has an acid. And when you take a powder or a capsule, all that stuff gets broken down. So that's why a lot of drugs, they only have a 5 to 10% bioavailability, because the stomach acid destroys 90% of it. And a lot of it goes into your kidneys, your liver. And that's where you get all these side effects of, like, even Tylenol. 50,000 people a year die of Tylenol. Millions are injured of Tylenol. So you have all these, acetaminophen, a lot of these things, if you take too much, it's toxic. But if you take, recommended dosage, you'll be safe. So you always have to observe the labels. And the way we market our products, it's all by weight. You can also give it to your pet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kilos, it's here, kilos, pounds, and then tells you how many drops you should take and how many days supply. So everything comes in a nice box. We also have in the back the supplement facts panel. We show you the drug interactions. We show you how to take it. It's plant-based. It's all gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO. There's issues with dairy, a lot of chemicals, hormones in dairy, and that affects the efficacy and the bioavailability and the absorption of our product. So most people that I know, like over 70, 80% of the people that I know, they're allergic to dairy. Everybody has dairy. They start, gas, they start their stomach aches, so certain people, dairy today is not what it was, years ago. But my belief is the only dairy we should have is from our mother's milk. You look at the gorilla, the elephant, they don't eat other people's milk, and they're strong and they're herbivores. So a plant-based diet is great. I'm a pescatarian. I like fish. I do eat a little bit of chicken, and I do have meat once or twice a year. So I was vegan for 5 months. I lost a lot of weight, but everything in moderation, I think. You could have dairy once a week on your cheat night with a pizza or whatever. It's not going to kill you. But if you can give it 5 days, no supplements, no medications, check with your doctor, obviously. And by the way, I'm not a doctor, so I'm a college dropout. All I can tell you is if you read the reviews, and my partner, Dr. Michael Hager, who spent 20 years of his life researching sterile inflammation and cancer research in Amsterdam and in Asia, he's an expert at this. He's been over 150 peer-reviewed publications. He's done a lot of preclinical trials. He has 20 PhD students operating under him. He's a professor of nanomedicine and photomedicine. He's brilliant. He's the one that developed this formulation. Without him, I wouldn't be here today. And it's his recipe and his formulation that he's dedicated his life to help other people stop the suffering and end his pain. And he's done an amazing job at it. So kudos to my partner, Michael, who without him, this company wouldn't be here. And all these lives that we've helped over the past 4 years has come to fruition thanks to his brilliant work.
No, most definitely. But how would you say that, a lot of people want to help themselves, but at the same time they are self-sabotaging? What would you say to those people that, they want to give up gluten, they want to give up cheese, but that's one of their favorite things. They love to have a pizza on a Friday night or every night. How would you speak to them? How would you explain to them that their life can change dramatically and they can get their life back by giving up the things that they love?
So there's a book that I just read that David Kleinhandler had me read, and it was called, actually I listened to it 3 times. It's called Atomic Habits, where every day you make a 1% change. So I've helped so many people on Clubhouse. We've given almost $1 million worth of product away at retail on Clubhouse, and almost 4 million in 4 years. So we've been giving away about $1 million a year of product to make sure it's safe, and it's high efficacy. And we want people to share their stories with us. It may not work for everybody, but I would say over 90% of the people it's worked for, but you have to stick with it. You can't just give it a week or a month. You have to stick with it for 90 to 120 days. And if it doesn't work, we'll give you a full refund for the full 90, 120 days if you subscribe. And I think I've only had to do that once in a couple of years. So that's good news. We're helping people. Like anything, I highly tell people don't do diets. Diets don't work. So I was on a crash vegan diet for 5 months. I was diagnosed with a tumor, and I healed myself with food and juicing. I didn't even know about this company. This is 2 years before I started this company, I healed myself. And it took me 5 months. But what I did is I practiced a ritual life. Get out of bed. Before you get out of bed, say a little prayer. In the Jewish religion, we say Modeh ani Adonai lefanecha, where we thank God to restoring our soul and giving us this health that we're able to get out of bed. And I got my hands, unlike a lot of veterans that come back from war, they're missing legs, hands, people with cerebral palsy, people like with diseases like your son. There's so many people suffering that can't even get out of bed in the morning. So practice a ritual life. And since my father left the house at 10 and a half years old, I look in the mirror, and even though I may be 57 years old today, and I'm not what I used to be when I was 10 and a half, every morning I wake up and I love myself. Self-love is self-care. I look in the mirror and I say, damn, I'm good looking. No matter what, even if I may have a pimple on my forehead, which I've had maybe 10 pimples in my life. I'm very blessed to have a good head of hair, and always get a nice tan. I don't wear sunscreen. I don't put anything, and I'll talk to you about self-care in a second. So self-love, self-care, and practice gratitude. I'm grateful. Every email, every text, I tell everybody I love them, even if I just met you. And it's your words and action that take you down. Everybody's a 10. I don't care if you killed somebody like I did. I actually killed somebody, and I'm not proud of it, but I got to honor this young woman every day. So if you can live life with gratitude, love yourself, and if you can also live life with an open heart, just open your heart, wear your heart on your sleeve. Most men, including me for years, they used to call me the man of steel. I had like a steel heart. I wouldn't open up my heart. And then, it took a tragedy to find myself. And then after my, being sick with a tumor, I discovered meditation and hot yoga. And that really changed my life. And then I started juicing because our family started a little juice business here in San Diego, Suja Juice. And then I started taking the product that we were making. I was building these factories, for 4 years every day. And so I started drinking green juice, just green juice, none of the sugary, fruity stuff. But I had 5 green juices a day. And I juiced for 5 months. And then I started eating a little bit of fish after 5 months. And then I realized that I had lost so much weight that I had to go back to a little bit more fish and more fish. And I didn't eat pizza for 5 years. I started eating pizza about 2 years ago. My daughter, once a month. I'll even have a little bit of cheese once a month. But, once a week is my cheat night. Saturday nights, I go out, I'll order anything I want. Because I work so hard during the week, and I have such a clean diet, and I'm so disciplined. My body fat went from 28, almost 30% down to under 7%, 6.9. And I did that in like 5 months, which is ridiculous, right? Yeah. Well, with COVID-19, I may be at 10 or 11, but you know what? My cheeks aren't sucked in. I'm looking healthier. I feel healthier. I just lost 3 inches off my waist in 2 weeks with some advice of not snacking on fruit and just eating more protein and vegetables, thanks to Anna. She kind of like set me even though I thought I had a good diet, I'm always open to improvement.
Yeah, you're happy to listen, which is amazing.
Exactly. And the other thing is a 1% change. You don't have to be radical. So don't go on a diet. Here's what I recommend. I ask everybody, if you're inflamed, you're overweight, you got migraines, you got joint pain, here's the secret. And this is what I've shared on 2 other podcasts. This is my 3rd. So you got to honor your body. So ritual life, say a little prayer before you get out of bed. Look in the mirror, look at yourself and say, I love myself. I love my life. Because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will love you. Your children, nobody. You have to have this positive approach. Spend a few minutes after you wash your face or shower, sit down, meditate, get your coffee, and then make sure whatever you do is with gratitude the rest of your life. You see a stranger in an elevator, in the street, going on the beach, say hello, good morning. And you're talking to somebody, give them a hug. Don't shake their hand. Doesn't matter about COVID. If you have to wear a mask, but give people hugs. That breaks all barriers immediately. I don't care if the guy's in a suit and tie. When I was in jail, I got out of maximum security after 5 months. I went to minimum security, 898 people. I started hugging everybody every day. And people looking at me like, you're crazy, you know? They thought I was Puerto Rican with a last name like Perez. There was only two white guys in the whole ward. And everybody else like mean guys, but I gave them a hug and I told them I love them and I listened to everybody's story. Yeah, and that was beautiful. So honoring our body is everything. How do we honor our body? How do you honor your body every morning? Can I ask you that question?
Yeah, sure. So I'm very much into Mother Nature because I believe Mother Nature almost recharges my body. So I'm blessed to have a green garden, as in there's a lawn with grass, as you call it a lawn, we call it a garden. And every morning I'll go into the garden and I say my affirmations. As I said before, my neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but I do it all the time. I don't wear any shoes most of the time around the house anyway, or in the garden. And I actually connect in my mind with Mother Nature, and I almost summon Mother Nature to come and just feed me. And that's how I sort of say it to her. And I thank her. I thank the elements. I listen to the birds and I meditate in the garden, or I'll meditate inside. But I do that every day, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, I will go outside and do that as part of my personal ritual.
I love that. That's beautiful. So, by the way, honoring your body, not only is meditation good, but music is the most important element. Healing sounds, whether it's 528, 428, you name it, sound bowls, just piano. I mean, I listen to a lot of piano, Spanish, classical guitar. Music has always been my life growing up. And that's something that my mother, father, sisters, we always used to listen to Elvis Presley, Tony Curtis. I mean, we used to listen to everybody, you name it. We would listen to all of the, I think it was Paul Anka, Cat Stevens. Growing up, my father would play, crazy, always bring us an album every week growing up as a young kid. It didn't matter if it was Morocco or Canada, but music was part of our life. And it's part of my life with my children. And even as my ex-wife was pregnant, we would play classical music, Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, and that just creates a different state of mind when a child comes out. And it also helps relax the brain, and it releases a lot of different hormones that calm you. But honoring our body for me is also, you are what you eat. Prayer is important, meditation is important, music's important, but we are what we eat. Food is medicine, medicine is food. So when you're opening up a can or a bag of potato chips, you just need to understand there's preservatives in everything. Yeah. So it's all about shelf life. The big food companies, they don't value your health. They're working with the insurance companies to make sure your kids become diabetics and obese, so you can treat that. So the food companies love to invest in the healthcare companies. If you look at some of the hedge funds and some of the portfolios, healthcare goes up, food sales are up, junk food. So eat clean, go to your farmer's market, buy fruits and vegetables, and buy everything as clean, as organic as you can, because anything in a can, or if you microwave it, it's going to be toxic. So if the shelf life on a bag of bread is 3 or 6 months, don't buy it. It's filled with preservative, and that's why you don't want to eat a lot of the wheat or gluten. You know, we have thousands of chemicals that are allowed to be in our food supply in the US, and in Europe's like 4. So very different Europe and the US. And the US is all about the lobbyists and how they manage to get things. Glyphosate's still legal. They're spraying it out here. In Ohio, there's a whole community, 100 homes. Everybody there has got lung cancer because of glyphosate. Glyphosate's been sued. They're just paying out the lawsuits, but they haven't stopped manufacturing it. It's still being sprayed on airplanes. So just about every nutritional supplement made in the US that comes from US farms is laden with glyphosate and other toxins. So that's why you won't find the COAs, the certificate of analysis, on a lot of our competitors' websites, because they don't test for glyphosate, because if they did, they'd be out of business. So that's the challenge that I bring to all of them. Show me your COA, email it to me so I can, you know, stop calling you all out and get with the game plan, because we value people's health and I care about that. So that's honoring your body with food as medicine and medicine as food. And then the other thing is, it's what you drink. You know, the body needs water. It needs clean water. It doesn't need fruit juices, high sugar, high corn syrup. It doesn't need carbonated beverages. And by the way, our products don't work with carbonated beverages or juices. You have to take it with plain water. And there's a reason why it doesn't work, because those carbonation and those juices, there's a lot of preservatives in there, and it breaks down the molecules, the API, the active pharmaceutical ingredient, and the whole pharmacokinetics get knocked out. You can put it in hot water, as it makes a great curcumin turmeric tea. You could put it in your coffee, but just don't put it with dairy. You can put it with almond milk or coconut milk is fine, or even cashew milk. The other thing is honoring our bodies about the air we breathe. It's also how we breathe. You have a deep ujjayi pranayama breath, your victorious breath of yoga. So I think that's important, how we breathe. And it's also, our diet is also how we think. It's your mindset. You can't honor your body. You can't live a ritual life. You can't love yourself. You can't live with an open heart. You can't even meditate unless your mindset is there, where you practice self-love, self-care, and discipline. It's all about people that are overweight have no discipline. You look at a bodybuilder and you look at the discipline that goes into their daily routine. It's a grind to get up out of bed at 5 a.m. and go to yoga or hit the gym or the treadmill for an hour and a half. That's dedication, and that's discipline. So you need to know how to close your mouth. Try to breathe in and out through your nose. That's what the nose is for. There's a great book called The Oxygen Advantage by McEwen. That's a great book. Read it. Tells you how to breathe in and out. Our mouth is made for eating, not breathing. When you sleep at night, put a piece of tape. There's tapes that you can buy so you don't snore. You know, it's a great tape. It doesn't, you know, something I just learned from another beautiful Russian guy, Slava, who taught me about the tape. And you'll see your life will change once you start honoring your body. So breathing, mindset. And the other thing is the most important thing of our diet, to relieve stress. Stress is like the #1 cause of cancer. And I believe that's how I got my tumors, through stress. I was in a very stressful relationship for 22 years. And it was literally a month after, you know, I left that relationship that I was diagnosed with a tumor. And I was able to change my life by getting rid of the stress. And how do you get rid of stress? It's the people that you surround yourself with. If you're with toxic people, negative people, people that doubt you, people that question you, sometimes it could be your family, immediate family, it could be your children. Yeah. So you got to change their mindset. I highly recommend that they listen to the Ben Greenfield podcast, because I talk a little bit about a little bit more in depth there. But that's important, the people you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with alcoholics, drug addicts, or negative people, you are going to be influenced by them daily. So extract yourself. I don't say lose all relationship, but just don't make them part of your daily habit. See them once a week, once a month, but surround yourself with people that reflect the values, the vision, and the aura that you want to project, the positive energy.
Yeah.
I love positive people. I've surrounded myself with Tony, Jason, Frank, and Dean, and Caesar, and Anna, and Dominique, and Julie, all these people we met on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
They've all gravitated to me because we see the same, we have the same vision. And we want the same, not only for ourselves and our family, but we want the same for the world.
Yeah.
So we want to impact 1 billion lives, and we can't do it alone. It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
And by me getting on your podcast and you sharing it with other people, and because I do wear my heart, and I put my heart on my tongue, I put it on my sleeve, I put it everywhere. And that's how change happens.
No, most definitely. And since I've known you, you're very passionate. You're not passionate about the money. You're passionate about, like I said, I wanted to record 100 podcasts so that I could send 100 messages. And I feel you're very much on the same wavelength, the same mentality, that you just want to speak to as many people, because it's almost like when I found self-love, I wanted to literally reach out to people and say, come here, I've got this great, amazing secret, come here, because you'll feel better for knowing it. And that's how I feel you are about Nourish Me, and it can change so many lives. So one of the questions I had for you was, how would you get somebody who has a bad relationship with food, has maybe, underlying illness with their relationship, in the sense of the way they see food, that they might have a past of being anorexic, or just that they don't enjoy eating. How would you get them to understand the importance of eating well?
So a lot of people will open up a bag of potato chips, a pint of ice cream, and they're not satisfied until they finish. Kid, I always say the first chip tastes the same as the last potato chip, or crisp, you call them. Yeah. And the first spoon tastes the same as the last spoon. My daughter's 13 years old. We go through a pint of coconut ice cream, dairy-free ice cream. It takes us 2 weeks to finish 1 pint.
Wow.
Half a gallon of acai will take us 2 months. So the book Atomic Habits really helps you have that self-control that you need. But self-control starts with your mindset. So we can heal ourselves. We have the ability to self-heal, transform ourselves with our mind. And a lot of people don't believe it, but you can. I mean, I'm a prime example of it. I mean, I didn't take any drugs, no surgery, and I was able to heal myself after 5 months. A golf-sized ball tumor was completely gone after 5 months. And that's with mindset, by waking up early, 4:35, practicing my yoga, practicing meditation, doing the things, honoring my body every day. And I just saw the fat melt every day. And it was incredible how if you saw my body before and after, 44 pounds I lost in 5 months. And I didn't do that in 1 day.
Yeah.
If you think about 44 pounds in 5 months, is 150 days. So I lost about 1/3 of a pound a day, ounces a day. I didn't have to lose pounds every day.
Yeah.
I lost ounces. I think it's like 6, whatever it comes out to, like 5 ounces, 5.5 ounces a day. And a lot of it was water loss, believe it or not, from just sweating and perspiring. But it's the low fat, low saturated fats. I do like nuts, walnuts and almonds is a big part of my diet. And I stay away from like peanuts, and I stay away from all fatty foods, no fried foods. But I do love truffle French fries. So once a month, I can eat French fries. Once a month, if I wanted to, I could have a hamburger. Nothing's going to happen to me. But you can't eat McDonald's or Burger King every day. That's toxic, because everything there is toxic. Even the vegetables and fruits there that are, harvested 6 months early, and they use gas to ripen them. All these fruits and vegetables you buy at the supermarkets a lot of them have toxins in them because they're picked green so they don't get crushed in the boxes on the trucks. So that's why you have to go to a farmer's market. If you want to eat clean, go to a farmer's market and go to the organic stand that doesn't use any pesticides, and look at their certificates, because a lot of farmer markets, believe it or not, there's a lot of shysters, just like everywhere else in the world. People are selling you product. They say, oh, It's pesticide free, but it's just as good as organic. If it doesn't have the bio seal or the USDA seal, don't buy it. That's my, you know, I always say trust, but verify, just like Ronald Reagan did with Gorbachev. Trust, but verify.
No, I think that's an amazing point to make, actually, because just because it says it is something on the label doesn't mean it definitely is. But going back to labels, with Nourish Me, you have not just one product, do you? Do you want to just run us through the products that you actually have and what
Sure.
you do?
Let's talk about labels. I think that's important. This is our first product. It's our brain and immune health. We've done clinical trials with this product where we've helped people with Alzheimer's, dementia. We've improved their memory. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation. And we do something that none of the other drugs can do, where we give people their memory back. And a very successful clinical trial, peer-reviewed, published, it's online. But the product it's a US, made in the USA, informed choice for sports certified. And it also has a made in an FDA registered facility, CGMP, very clean product. There are 6 functional foods in here: aloe vera powder, inner leaf powder, which is the strongest powder available. And then there's also, it's the bi-aloe. We also take that aloe vera powder that's in here, put it into the liquid. But in this product here, it has flaxseed powder, rice bran, and it also has tart cherry powder for your vitamin C. It also has a Mexican yam root powder, which is called diascorea. And then obviously the organic aloe vera powder. And then there's N-acetylcysteine and calcium silicate clay, which is amazing. That calcium silicate clay, it binds the neurotoxins, alpha toxins throughout your body at the gut level. So those are all the heavy metals, the mercury, the lead, the cadmium, the nickel, all the stuff that you've accumulated over the years from eating toxins, all the preservatives in your canned foods, your microwave foods, all that stuff, it gets eliminated every day, excreted out. You poop it out every day. So we recommend that you double the serving if you're sick. If you're healthy, you just take the prescribed dosage. You could just take it a couple times a day if you're healthy. If you're not healthy, I recommend 4 times a day and double the dosage.
How would you take that? How would you take that particular one?
This one you could put in a glass of water, and you can mix it with water, or you could put it in your smoothie. You could take this with, juice, no problem, anything. I put it in my green juice and I just shake it every morning. I take a cold pressed green juice every morning. I put 4 tablespoons. One of these lasts me a week. So I go through 4 a month. My mother's 83 years old. We got her off all the drugs 2 years ago. This product and our turmeric extract product, she got off all the meds, all the blood thinners, and she came back to life with this product. She goes through 2 of these a week. So she takes 8 a month. But it's a superfood. There's 450 phytonutrients in here. It's got all the amino acids, the vitamins, cofactors, the creatine, everything your body needs is in this, from a nutritional uptake. This is amazing. When you take these 2 together, 30 minutes apart, you take this turmeric extract and you just put it in water. This one you got to take 30 minutes apart on an empty stomach. I just put 8 drops in here, and this is how it looks.
Yeah. Just one drink can change your life, realistically.
This little drink here has changed literally over 35, almost 40,000 people's lives. It's changed their lives.
Yeah.
So, our goal is to get 1 million people a month to subscribe to this, and they tell 10 people to subscribe. That's 10 million, and they tell 10 people to 100 million. In 3 to 5 years, we could have 1 billion people taking this. Now we've offered this to the military, so the US Navy's now looking at this. We've every time somebody buys one, we give one away to a wounded vet or an active military vet with PTSD or any injury. We give one, and we also give a percentage of all of our sales for 4 years to honor.org. That's for our vets that are special forces, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, that want to come back and need to find jobs, and we help them get back into the community after serving our country. So we're very big in taking care of the people that take care of us. That's kind of my philosophy is, I wasn't born in this country, but they fight for our freedom. And a lot of these young kids come back disabled, and we're here to help them, whether it's a traumatic brain injury, We have amazing stories of vets. Isaac Day on our website, amazing. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to be able to help our wounded vets and our vets that and their families that need help. So we're constantly doing good in the community.
I know that you're very much about looking after everybody else, but what I'd like to say to anybody listening is that, you know, you'll go out and you'll spend a stupid amount of money on a meal that's really not very good for you, that lasts you just for that evening, whereas you could actually invest in your health in this way. And I know I will be starting to invest in my health in this way, and I would really push and urge everyone else to put yourself first, you know, value yourself and your health, because your health is effectively your wealth. So now that we've covered some of the products that you sell, that you're providing and that are making a huge difference on all these people's lives, is there anything else that Nourish Me can provide for anybody that's interested in anything more?
Yes, Nourish Me, we'll have a special here. If you go to our website, nourish.me, and you use the discount code Nina 30, NINA 30, we will give your audience, if they subscribe and save, they will get 30% discount every month. They'll try a 90-day trial. We'll give them both products. They can try both products. It's the give me a second, you may have to edit this out. So we have 2 discount codes for you. The one you see over there on the screen, this box here, this is our basic version. You'll get you get a bottle of our product, 1 bottle, and you get this powder. You get a package.
Add around so we can just see the front.
Yeah, so you get Cogni Nourish, okay, and then you get the turmeric extract. You get both products as a bundle, and you will subscribe and save, and it's 30% off. And if you're in the UK, we're going to do a special shipping package for you. We're going to reduce the shipping by 50%. Wow. For the UK. So we will put together a special package. You'll get 30% off on subscribe and save. If you only want to try it once and you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. You can just use Nina 25 and you'll get 25% off. But you will have to pay for the shipping with that package. Again, so when you think about it, for between $3 and $5 a day, depending on the package you choose, you can reduce your inflammation for the price of coffee per day. You can get both products. It's, you know, worry-free. If it doesn't work for you, just call us, email our customer care. It's the best thing. You just email them. We'll give you a full credit, but we're pretty confident it works for you. That's why we put our money where our mouth is, and we put our mouth where, whatever it is.
However it goes. But I'd like to add as well that when people say they can't afford it, the question I always have is, well, how important is your life to you? You know, you say you can't afford it, but you will find the money for that packet of cigarettes, or you will find the money to go out and have a meal or a pizza with your friend. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. All I'm saying is that if you know that you're going to benefit from something, then you have to start looking after yourself and using your money, you know, in the correct way, which is self-care. So that's one thing I want to put out there, because I am very much about people looking after themselves, because at the end of the day, without you, there is nobody else. So you need to actually look after yourselves for all those people around you. The way David, you know, when he said that he wanted to give up at one point, but he didn't, because his whole family relied on him, and he knew that how upset they would be and how it would affect them. So you can turn your life around literally with a glass of water and a few drops of this, you know, this product that we're talking about.
Thank you, Nina. Yeah, you know, I always say that the comeback is always greater than the setback. You know, so we've all been through tough things in our lives. You know, I don't care who you are, what you've been through. We all are at every age. We all have some pain and suffering, whether it's a common cold, a broken back, a broken arm, a young kid playing soccer, he has inflammation, a sprained ankle. We need to practice self-care and don't look for traditional pharmaceutical drugs that cause a lot of side effects. Please, 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 everything we need to heal ourselves, Mother Earth has given us. Mother Nature is providing for us. And I'm living proof of that. I'm living proof. I've tried all the other solutions. This is the only thing that's worked for me and thousands of people. Just go on our website, read the testimonials. You'll see the, stories from people with every type of chronic disease on Amazon and on our website. You'll see the testimonials. These are all verified by third parties, and it's the real deal. It's, this product is real, and all the people that are part of our company, Nina. And they joined for a reason. Dan Clark, Jason Cisneros. I've been getting some guidance from the former chief marketing officer of Walmart, Julie Lyle. So many amazing people have been helping me, including the former chairman of Pfizer and J&J has been guiding me. We have some amazing people that care about people's health and want to make a difference in the world.
It matters.
Right. And your podcast and your listeners can take action, because if it works for you, the only thing I ask you to do is share the love. If you buy one of our other products, we have a 3-pack here. And if you buy 2, we give you 1 for free. Oh, we give you 1 for free if you buy 2. So yeah, exactly. The box is on an angle. So I took these bottles out, but anyhow, that 3-pack is meant for you to share the love. So we give you 1 complimentary, and you can still apply the discount on top of that. So it comes out to under $25 a bottle. So it's really inexpensive to share the love and to help others that are in pain and suffering. You may not be experiencing pain or suffering, but I'm sure your parents or one of your children or your neighbor. Share the love with somebody elderly in a old age home or an assisted living facility. Yeah. Share the love, and you'll see how God gives us right back. It comes back tenfold, and that's what's beautiful about paying it forward.
Well, one thing that I just remembered actually is my first podcast guest, which is not out yet, will be out soon, was Matt Fidesz and his beautiful wife Monique. And Matt is Michael Jackson's ex-bodyguard, so he's also a friend and his ex-bodyguard. And something you said just really resonated with me, because he said he lost his mother, unfortunately, to cancer. And he said to me that he realized that he could send as much money, because he was a millionaire and still is, and he could send as much money to her to travel to try and get the best treatments, but nothing was going to save her. Now, you don't want to get to a point in your life where you think that you're saving money for something that's not actually going to be worthwhile. You need to invest it within yourselves. And I know Matt would completely agree with me when it comes to this matter, that it's so important. So somebody that somebody that you want to look after, start today, start looking at this product, because what have you got to lose? There's a money back guarantee. And apart from that, it could actually heal and sort out their problems, which I'm 100% sure it will do, because I'm very much an advocate for natural health. It's been a pleasure, David, today. I'm so happy. And for those of you who want to contact David, I'll put all of his details and the company details below. I will make sure that all the links are available for you. But I want to thank David today. Did you want to just leave us with some last words, please?
Yes, I want to thank you, Nina, and your listeners for having the courage. Self-care or self-love. We'll all go through a moment in our lives where there's ups and downs. With COVID, it's been a crisis, but it's brought the family unit back together.